Okay, so if you're looking for a week to knock out Dagger Sicar for Kayron, this is the week. There's no penalties for warriors, there's no restriction on taking extra turns. It's a perfect week to do it. I'll demonstrate 3 different teams here. First, we need a good damage dealer. I chose to use Cermia because as far as damage goes, no rangers can stack up to her even with the bonus. I know mine has really high stats, but you don't need to get 10 million on this. 8.8 does it. Make sure she has her S1 EE on for extra turns. Cruel Mischief is the ideal artifact, but you can go with Symbol of Unity or other damage artifacts. For the first round, I'm going to use Arby as our blind unit. I put him on Rage Set just for some damage, and Dust Devil just on the off chance he might get an extra hit in. Kitty Clarissa is an ideal dual attack unit. I put her on Warhorn for extra attack for the rest of the team, and put as much speed on her as I could and gave her some tankiness. You don't have to be this fast. I pulled off 9 million with one running at about 240 speed earlier. Singelica will be our 3rd dual attack unit. Again, build her with as much speed as possible. She doesn't need to be this fast. I used a damage artifact, but if you're worried about sustain, put Touch of Rekos or Celestine on her. Camilla could work in place of Kitty or Singelica. At these really high speeds on my openers, I'm going to lap, so just waste your first attack. Hit one of the adds so you don't push Kayron up. You can go ahead and try to S2 with Kitty. There's always a chance you can reduce the shield duration. Now that everybody is lapped, I can pop Singelica's S3 to get attack buff and speed buff on everyone, and get her ready for dual attacks. I'll do the same thing for Kitty, and get her S3 up. And fire off a single shot into Kayron to weaken him. Now the important thing is that Cermia goes next. She has to be faster than Arby so that Arby can blind inside of the break phase. If your Arby is faster than your Cermia, restart or re-gear to make sure that she goes first. Fires up her S3 to get her greater attack buff, and because of the defense penetration on her S3, she should easily knock into the break phase. As long as you don't get 15%ed with Arby here and stick the blind, you're good to go. Now it's just a matter of landing as many dual attacks as possible.
Insignificant.
And there's the Dust Devil proc that earns an extra 350 damage. And there's the S1 EE procking. As long as you get at least 4 million on stage 1, you should clear Dagger Sicar easily.
Destroying everything.
So I lucked out and scored a little over 5 million, so this should be a real good score. Now this phase is a little bit tricky. You want to drop Kayron quickly because you have no healer, but you don't want to drop him too fast because your Arby is slow, and if his blind isn't ready for the next break phase, it'll ruin your run. If I'm not mistaken, Arby needs about 3 more turns for his blind to be ready. I do recommend taking out the adds. The adds have a stun RNG to them, which can really slow down or even brick a run. Another thing that can brick a run is Kayron's S1 has a blind on it. If he sticks that on one or both of your DPS, that can be a problem. Other than that, there's really no RNG to this phase. You just need to time it right so that all of your skills are ready to enter the break phase with maximum efficiency, and to make sure your units don't die on the way there. Now there's that annoying blind I was mentioning before that Kayron loves to stick on your damage dealers. Periodically you can check to see how much longer you have to go. Seems I have 2 more turns before Arby's S3 is ready, and the boss is about 60% health, so looks like we're on track. I'm going to continue to only use S1 skills, just so that I don't accidentally over-damage. Funny thing here, if my Arby gets killed, which he does here, it'll actually help because that will push him up and let him take one of those turns. So after he does this S1, it looks like everybody's skills will be ready so I can start looking at pushing phase.
Destroying everything.
Okay, Kitty Clarissa's definitely going to lap, so I'll go ahead and waste one of her attacks here.
Please.
Singelica, however, she may be fast, but I don't think she's that fast. So I'm going to go ahead and use her S3 skill. The speed buff should make sure everybody goes before she takes another turn.
To take another's life. Will you play with me now?
I'll go ahead and pops Kitty's skill. We'll do an S1, and that should damage Kayron enough. We'll be ready for the next break phase.
Here. Yes.
Oh, I got a double attack. Will definitely be good to enter the next break phase now. As long as my Cermia doesn't get blinded. Oh, good lord.
I shall honor you with
Well,
my presence.
I'll go ahead and risk it as long as
Shall we get
we
going?
don't miss the crit here. 50-50 coin toss. Ah, never lucky. Okay, that wastes one of the attacks from Singelica, so that hurt a little bit, but only cost us maybe 600k points. Now our last bit of RNG, we need Arby to stick the blind. Got it. Okay, so Dagger Sicar is secure. There's no way we won't make 8.5 million at this point. It's just a matter of looking for those EE procs like that one. Unfortunately, we lost the greater attack buff. Wasn't the best lineup going into this phase, but beggars can't be choosers.
Kill this one. Destroying
There's
everything.
the Singelica attack that we lost out on because we needed her to push the break phase. I should be able to get one or two more hits in.
On my way. Please. Don't talk to me.
Well, that was a pretty lousy stage 3, but we're still over 1 million points higher than the Dagger Sicar needed. If you want to try to clear stage 3, it is possible, but it's not easy. You've got to take care of the ads first.
Can I go home
They
after I
are too dangerous to leave in the game, so strip the anti-crit off with Kitty. There's no reason to save skills at this point. Just keep popping everything and drop the ads first. Once the ads are down, you can start focusing on Kayron.
Who dares to challenge me?
All that's left is ruin.
Dropping the ads removes the defense buff on Kayron, and that lets us do a little bit more damage. And this right here is why you want some tankiness on your Kitty.
Don't give up.
Now that the ads are down, just try to focus and drop Kayron as quickly as possible.
On my way. Anybody
Clearing the stage really depends on proccing Cermia's S1 EE, which so far we've not done a single time on stage 3. Oh, until now, so that helps.
Significant.
Unfortunately, we don't have blind ready, and Dust Devil didn't proc, and we got our greater attack buff stripped by Kayron, and we got our vulnerability stripped off of Singelica, so it's not looking good for a full clear. Yeah, so bad luck on stage 3. We'll go ahead and clear off as much damage as we can, but this won't be a full clear, unfortunately. But you can see it's definitely possible. If we cleared it, that would put an additional 700k onto the run and given us a much stronger score. If you don't have or don't want to use Arbiter Vildred for this run, it works just as well using Fire Lidica or Faithless Lidica. Fire Lidica is a little bit harder to run because she has such a high base speed. You have to sacrifice a little damage on Cermia to speed Cermia up enough so that Fire Lidica goes second. Faithless Lidica is a slower base speed, so she's a little bit easier to line up. This second video is going to feature Fire Lidica just to show how it can be done with her. The other units are exactly the same, except I reduced Cermia's damage a little bit to make her fast enough that she could cut Fire Lidica on stage 1. Again, Faithless Lidica makes things a lot easier. I put the exact same gear that was on Arby onto her. I gave her the S1 EE for a little bit extra damage. Pick whichever one you like, it doesn't matter that much. I gave her Sword of Judgment, hoping I would get an extra attack in, it never procced, so maybe a Bloodstone or a damage artifact might have actually been better there. You can see I lost about 300 attack, I think, off of Cermia and a little bit of crit damage, but I needed it to get her speed high enough where she could reliably go before Faithless Lidica. Okay, now something to note, because your DPS are running so much faster, you do need to speed up Kitty and Singelica, or Camilla if you choose to use her. I would recommend 260 plus speeds, just to make sure you don't run into speed RNG issues. Make sure they get the turn cycling they need to give you ideal damage. Other than that, the run is almost exactly the same. Arby blinds 100% with his S3, Lidica blinds 100% with her S2. Won't bother to narrate the rest of this run, as I would basically just be repeating myself from the first fight, because it really is the exact same fight, you're just substituting one unit. I hope this video or series of videos helps you guys get your Dagger Sicar score. If you have any questions, please ask them below. I always do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. And, oh yeah, like and subscribe.
I wanna Sometimes darkness can become your light. This is the start. Meow. Do your best. Meow. Destroying everything. Meow meow. Meow.
Make my day. Time to prove my might.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow. Here. Meow.
On my way.
Can I go home? Anybody there? After I kill this one?
I'll bet my entire fortune on victory. Heretics will be punished.
I'll do what I want. Meow meow.
On my way.
Please. Help? Don't talk.
Nice.
Destroying everything is too annoying. Meow. Don't give up. Meow. This is the start. Meow. Here. Meow.
On my way.
Away with you.
I hate getting hurt. Back off now if you don't want to get involved. Only by the will of the goddess. Time to bring this fight to an end!
I wanna rest. Filthy creatures. It's time to tear them to pieces. Will you play with me, Meow? Meow meow!
Nice!
A bloodbath. Delightful agony.
Can I go home after I kill this one?
I'll bet my entire fortune on victory.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow. Is it time for me, Meow? Destroying everything? Here, Meow.
On my way.
Meow.
Who will stand against me?
Please, don't talk to me. This is the start. Meow. Meow, meow.
Nice. Shall we get going? Is it time to draw my sword? End this!
On my way. I wanna rest. I'll do what I want. Meow. Meow, 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 meow.
How futile.
I hate getting hurt. I will lend you the power to take another's life. Will you play with me, Meow? Do your best. Meow. This is the start. Meow. Here. Meow.
On my way. I shall honor you with my presence. Keep watching, everyone. What fool dares to challenge me?
There's no mercy.
In a real fight! Heretics will be punished. I will fight until the end.
Over here. I want to
Nice.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow meow.
On my way.
Please. Anybody there?
Don't talk. Nice.
Destroying everything. Here.
On
Meow.
my way.
Meow.
Only by the will of the goddess. I'll bet my entire fortune on victory.
Can I go home after I kill this one? This is the start. Meow. Don't give up. Meow. I'll do what I want. Meow meow.
Nice.
Over here.
On my way.
Your torment excites me.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow. I'll blow everything away. Meow.
Who will stand against me? Back off now if you don't want to get involved.
Will you play with Meow? Here. Meow.
Nice.
Please. Filthy creatures. It's time to tear them to pieces.
A roaming heart forever wandering.
I hate getting hurt. Help?
On my way.
Destroying everything? It's too annoying. Do your best. Meow. I'll do what I want. Meow. Meow meow.
Nice. Make my day. There's no escape. Shall we get going? You owe me one now. I shall honor you with my presence. I'll give it to you.
Can I go home over here after I kill this one? This is the start. Meow. Here. Meow.
Nice.
Away with you.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow. Meow meow.
On my way.
Please don't talk to anybody there. Meow.
I'll bet my entire fortune on victory. Can you hold out much longer? Shall we bet on it?